Is this an exclusive? Wow.
Yeah, nobody knows about that. It's actually...
This is great. Welcome to Cue the Mic. We're back with episode 9. Things are a little different this week. Darren's off in Canada fishing, so I pulled in an actual professional to take his place instead. So yeah, let's welcome Luke Darnell to Cue the Mic.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Luke. For those of you who don't know, Luke Darnell is a barbecue pitmaster and also a podcast host. We have shouted out his podcast a couple of times. Pitmaster. Yeah, and along with just a good buddy of Darren and also my mom. Surprise, surprise.
You also have copied my podcast logo, so that's cool too.
We also did that. We also did that. I'm convinced Darren wants to be you. But
that's funny because the rest of the world is convinced that I want to be Darren. So
yeah, no. You had it first. So you had the podcast and the logo first.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad you could be here. My mom is good. She was very excited when I told her you were going to be on. I wasn't going to tell her. I was going to surprise her next week when we drop the episode. But I couldn't wait, and I needed I was like, Mom, what are some things to talk about? And she was just spitballing stuff. And I was like, okay, like random facts about you. So I was like, I don't know if that's what I needed, but thank you. Thank you anyway.
Your mom and I have a very strange relationship.
Yes, you do.
It's bizarre, but I love her and adore her. So
yeah, and ditto. I think you are one of her favorite people. It's so funny.
For those of you that don't know, Emma's mom used to work for Darren.
Yep.
For a lot of years, I believe, right?
Yeah, a decade.
A decade.
Good 10.
And
yep.
Behind every man is a really strong and powerful woman, and in Darren's case, it's many strong and powerful women.
Yeah, he's got lots of them.
Lots of support staff to make that big thing work. So, and Amanda was that for a long time, and now Emma does a lot of Darren's social media and a lot of probably other stuff that's
always utility players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what he needs. Just all the utility players he can get.
Absolutely. And then you got Sherry and Sherry's sister and all the ladies in the restaurant and
yeah. He needs
he acts
help.
like he does a lot, but he doesn't really. He goes fishing and cooks barbecue contests.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Leaves all the heavy lifting to us.
That's right.
But yeah. So I thought what we do is just kind of do a couple of questions, things I've asked Darren just to get your point of view, and then also some new stuff so we could get to know you better.
Cool.
And get some of your expertise advice and things as well. So one of the things that Darren and I always start off talking about is just barbecue competitions in general. Is there anything that you have coming up that you want to share, or one that you had recently that you did well at and want to plug?
I've had a very strange barbecue year.
Okay.
In terms of, I'll just put this out there because I haven't said this a lot publicly, and I'll just put it out here. So there's something new on here.
Yeah.
Started out that we were going to cook a bunch in January, and then I was in the running to be on a Food Network TV show.
Yes, I did read a little bit about that, I think.
And I ended up being one of the finalists for the show, but I ended up being an alternate. So I had to delay a lot of cooking and travel around that to be ready, which also coincidentally ran into cooking with Darren and Jeff and Teddy Camp. And I still get made fun of that every day, which is fun. But then I've done a bunch of other things this year. Like I went and cooked Memphis in May with Joe Pierce from Slaps.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of other, we've only cooked 3 contests this year so far, which for us is very strange.
Yeah.
But we've done well in those 3.
That's good.
So now our season is kind of officially starting this week, actually.
Oh, right.
We are cooking I get to go home to West Virginia and cook the Almost Heaven barbecue bash in Buchanan, West Virginia.
Oh, that'll be fun.
It's always special because my family can come and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next week after that is the Giant DC barbecue battle. Giant is a local grocery store, and it's an amazing contest because you're right in downtown DC. You get to cook on Constitution Avenue right in front of the Capitol. And we always used to say how cool it was that we got to play with knives and fire right there in Washington, D.C., that close to the Capitol.
Right.
Now, January 6th took away all the specialty of that because, it turns out anybody can do it as long as they have the gumption. But it's still just 50,000 people, all kinds of music, pure chaos. It's a giant pain in the ass to get down there. But it is just a fantastic barbecue contest. So those are our next 2 weeks.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that kind of leads into my next question. When did you start barbecuing?
Competitively or just in general?
You can give me both.
Well, in general, I started as a kid with my dad, and we would cook hogs in the ground. My dad worked with a guy who was from Tonga, and so he had this way of cooking whole hogs in the ground. You bury them, and then you take them out, and they're fantastic. Then when I moved to Virginia, I started getting into smoking and briskets and stuff and just doing it for tailgates. Then I found out about competition barbecue, and I was on another team for a while, and we weren't very good, and I can't do that. Yeah. So we started Old Virginia Smoke in 2012. So,
nice.
Yeah, we've been doing this now for 11 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's still a blast. Still have fun.
That's what I hear. So what is your favorite part of the competition world?
Favorite part?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot.
There's a lot of different aspects to it that I really enjoy. Number one, I get to do it with my wife. We husband-wife team. It's how we spend time together. She likes it way more than I do. She loves the competitive aspect. I hate driving. I hate the prep. I hate all that. But when I get up Saturday morning at 4:45 and light my fire, I turn into a different human being for about 7 hours. And I've gotten really good at, blocking my brain off and making sure that for this 7 hours, I'm going to have fun doing this. And I'm going to execute it to the best of my ability. I'm going to use all my senses. But number one, first and foremost, is I'm going to have fun. And that's one of the key things that I learned from Darren early on was when this stops being fun, that'll be the day I stop doing it. So
yeah. Those are good words to live by.
They kind of are.
I wouldn't tell him that very often, but
no, it's one of those things. You give him a compliment and he takes it, and his head gets even bigger, and then it gets bigger, and
the ego.
The ego.
That's why we're here.
But
we knock
a lot
it
of it is justified, though, too. Darren was just elected into the Barbecue Hall of Fame, which is, something that he says he's too young for and everything. But at the end of the day, he's done it better than anybody else. It's particularly when you talk about the majors. And that's watching him cook the Royal and being right next to him. I think the last year he won it was 16. I don't know for sure.
I can't even remember.
But we were at the racetrack, I remember. And I remember walking over early in the morning and saying good morning and talking to him, and I saw a different look and a different mannerism that I hadn't seen before from him at a contest. And I walked back to my trailer and I was like, we're all screwed. Like, he's
locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can tell now at any contest we go cook where he is. Mentally, just the look, the mannerisms, who he's engaging with, who he's not. Those are all secrets of the GOAT.
Yeah. It's interesting to get your point of view on that, because he would I don't think would ever actually admit when he's truly locked in. Sometimes he will, but
we've talked about it specifically, that instance, and I said I've never seen it since.
Yeah. Hopefully it's there this year.
But that day, I mean, yeah, if I can't win, then I want my friends to win. But,
right.
I've learned how to try and get to that place. Particularly in the big contests. So, yeah. But I also treat every contest like a big contest. So
that's a good mindset. I like that one.
If you're going to do it, then go do it. Don't mess around.
Yeah.
So, one thing I didn't ask you, is this a PG rated podcast?
No. It's Darren Worth's podcast.
Because I might let an occasional swear word out. So I just want to make sure that's fine.
I marked it as explicit on everything. I've given up.
That'll be good for when we get to Darren's story time.
Yeah. Because he lets anything out. I'm like, we gotta work on a filter. It's my podcast. It doesn't matter. Like, that's.
See, I would argue that this is Emma's podcast. You're kind of the host of this.
I'd like to think so, but
yeah, but
he's the reason all of our listeners are here. Well, not all of them, but a good majority. My mom and my grandma listen.
That's cool.
Yeah. So speaking about some of the big competitions, what's or just in general, all of them, what is the best place you've ever been for a competition?
Man, that's so hard.
That's what Darren said too.
It's a hard thing to answer because, well, and I say this about people too, because I'm a people person. I love people. I can find something redeeming in just about anybody. There's a couple people that probably not, but by and large, anyone, I can usually find something that's great about and something that I love about. And that's the same with barbecue contests. I just mentioned DC is a great contest, but it's such a pain in the ass to get down there. It's expensive. I love the West Virginia contest, but there's aspects of it that I don't enjoy. But I guess I would have to say some of our most special times were at a contest that doesn't exist anymore, the Rock City Rib Fest in Rochester, New York. That was always such a great contest. But one that still goes on, and we've cooked every year except for one, that it's existed, is Chillin' and Grillin' in the Glades in Wise, Virginia. It's this tiny town in the mountains of Virginia, and it's the organizer, Greg Cross, just does a fantastic job making sure everyone feels welcome. The teams, the judges, everybody, the whole town embraces the event. And we make a vacation out of it every year. We go to Wise for 4 days and just have an absolute blast. And I'd have to say that one is way up there. But, I mean, I love all of them, mostly by and large. There's a couple that in the past where, I remember this one, I forget where it was. Some other little town in Virginia, but it was the opposite of what they did in Wise. And we were pulling out, and the lady was like, "See you next year." And I rolled down the window. I went, "No, you won't."
At least you knew early.
Yeah, they never had it again. So that was
that's tough. So I've actually listened to your podcast a little bit, specifically your episodes. I wanted to be a little prepared. And you kind of talked about how you teach barbecue classes. That's a thing that Darren doesn't do. I don't think we'll ever do. But
he has no class. That's what he always says.
Yeah, exactly. But I was wondering, like, what got you into teaching those barbecue classes and stuff?
I guess in the beginning, it was purely financial driven. You know,
that happens.
We had some success and people were asking for a class. And so I was like, oh, cool, we'll do this. But now that we've gone further down the road with it and we're teaching every year, we're teaching at least one competition class every year. We have something big coming up here in September. It's going to be pretty awesome.
That's exciting.
Be available online. That's about all I can say about it right now.
That's all right.
But now it's more important to me when I go to a contest or when I'm even just watching awards when I'm here and seeing students excelling and winning grand championships and then getting messages from them that stuff that I taught them helped them win.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that extremely rewarding. Now, it's also very hard to beat these guys as well.
Right.
But that's fine too. Part of the way that competition barbecue lives is the newer teams that come in need to have some sort of success in the beginning to continue to stay involved, or else our hobby dies.
Right.
If new guys come in and they get the brakes beat off of them, they're not going to come back because that's just not fun over and over again. So it helps grow the sport, but just being there when a student wins their first grand championship is like, it's almost better than winning when we win.
Oh, I could imagine.
Yeah, it's just this very proud papa feeling. I don't know how to describe it.
Because it's kind of like you. I mean, you helped him get there, so like a little part of that victory is also yours. Not all, obviously, not all of it, but
yes and no.
You played a little bit of part of that.
I played a part in it, but I never take credit for it.
Fair enough.
And that's just something that I'm never going to do. They still had to go and cook it. And I even start every class with, there's 30 people in here. 10% of you are going to get this. 5% of you are going to be able to replicate it. The rest of you aren't going to be able to do it because you can't. And it's just a very sobering start. I want to get people in the mindset of, okay, I really need to pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's how those things start. And I always tell, like, even when I take classes, I still try and take one at least every 2 years. I go home, I buy everything, and I try and replicate their exact cook. Because if I can't do that, then how am I going to learn from it? So we try and encourage everybody to do that. Not that they need to use everything from the class, but get in that mindset and get in that mode, and then take what you want from it. And that's. But just seeing people have success, that's the biggest payoff of that whole thing. Yeah, that's the only reason I do it now.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. And you post a little bit on YouTube too, as well. Just a couple. Well, I did a little bit of research.
Emma. Yeah, I have bought all the shit to make YouTube videos, and
well, so have we.
Yeah, and I've now made. I even have a buddy that's holding me accountable. I'm going to be posting videos on the YouTube channel every week, at least one.
That's good.
I want to get to 2 so that I'm doing at least one video and one of the podcasts, the back catalog. I have all these episodes that I didn't put up on YouTube in the beginning. But now I just want to get everything up there, everything out there. We're co-branding it with Old Virginia Smoke, and we have a new logo thing it's being worked on right now called Luke Darnell Barbecue, which is pretty cool looking.
Is this an exclusive? Wow.
Yeah, nobody knows about that. It's actually...
This is great.
Yeah, it's actually the video that I just put up about like an idiot's guide to lighting a gateway drum.
I saw that.
In the opening video where it flashes up our logos, there's 2 logos there, and one of them is the Luke Darnell logo. So
wow, you got an exclusive. That's so cool and exciting. I'm trying to get Darren to do more of that. I've been trying for a while, though.
Time is, what that's like. Especially with that guy, pretending like he's working.
Exactly.
Is a big thing for him in between his trips fishing and his trips to the beach in Florida. Yeah. And,
oh, yeah.
He's too busy having fun. Can't expect him to make all this content.
Right. I know. I tried to get 3 podcast episodes out of him, and here you are doing the 3rd one. So he could only give me 2.
Well, fishing is important.
And 2 was pushing it. Oh,
but,
yeah.
I would argue also that he has his priorities in line. This Canada fishing trip to him is not something to be messed with.
No. Yep. There was 2021's was crazy because of just all of the COVID stuff. And I thought they weren't going to go for a hot second. And you could see the
pain.
Truly hurt in his eyes.
But no, I'm now making it a point to have at least 3 or 4 videos
that's awesome.
in the can, to use an old person term.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about content and creation from Susie Bullock with Hey Grill Hey. I recently spent a lot of time with her at Memphis in May and her husband Todd, and had her on the podcast. And I think she had a lot of great information about, getting started with that and making sure you stay on top of it. And she's built up an amazing following. She has 1 million followers on Facebook alone.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
And oh my God, can we make fun of other people other than Darren?
Yeah, lighthearted.
Lighthearted.
Sure.
All right, I'll leave that one. Nah, I'm going to say it anyway. So first time I met Susie was at the Shields thing in North Dakota. We were all cooking briskets. And Jeff from Shiggin' and Grinnin' was there, also one of Darren's best friends. And he had no idea who Susie was, and he was trying to explain to her like what competition barbecue was and what a jambo was. It was. And I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at him going, "Shut up, stop talking." And Susie was playing right along, going, "What's a jambo? I don't know." And then I explained to Jeff that Susie was way more important in barbecue than he was, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that is always good. That is good. So podcast. And you're talking about getting more content. Are you gonna start doing videos with your podcast? Like
the funny part, Emma, is that I have all the videos of them.
And you don't post
I have them. I just haven't done anything with them. We only do the audio part, but I do the videos on Zoom. That's just stupid. But
yeah.
I'm looking at this as a opportunity and a positive, in that I put the first one out. I didn't have video of that one, but now I'm just going to start every week, hopefully releasing the whole back catalog again, and so that can help build more views and get more exposure. And I didn't plan it that way, but that's what I'm telling myself to make myself feel better about it.
Yeah. Hey, it's all about trial and error.
Right.
I didn't think we were going to be doing video either, but because we were recording, Darren's like, just post it. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, the number one rule of YouTube content is hitting record, getting it up there. So, and that's, that's kind of where the podcast needs to go to, because everyone loves video. I'm an old person. I like to read my internet. I don't necessarily like to watch videos, but I tell people all the time. They send me videos like of something they find amusing, and I never watch them.
Aren't you on TikTok?
Yeah.
And you,
Darren takes credit for that too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware. Your most viral video. I had the idea written down the same date you recorded it. I wanted to do it. And then Darren said, "Hey, my buddy's going viral." And I was like, what the heck? You guys were supposed to come into the restaurant. Who's going to record that?
Yeah, it went and it went viral on my page, which is hilarious because it was his idea and his filming, and then I think it has it's like 5.5 million views or whatever.
Yeah, I checked it today. 5.5 million views and almost 75,000 likes.
And the comments, though, are hilarious. Like how we were evil people and teaching kids to endanger themselves and shit like that. I was like, oh my God, come on.
Snowflakes.
Oh, God.
Everybody
needs to calm down for a second.
Just
yeah.
Doesn't affect you.
YouTube or TikTok, different shit. For me, I don't know. I guess I should be putting stuff up there, but it's also, there's a lot of, I'm friends with a lot of people in the security world, in national security agencies, and they say TikTok is the devil. Like, that shit's real. TikTok's bad.
Okay. TikTok.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything's bad, I guess.
Yeah. Everything is bad. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
So what I'm going to flip the script here a little bit. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, sure.
This is a two-parter.
Okay.
What is the best thing about working with Darren Worth?
That's a good question. Good question. What is? I feel like the easy answer is experience. Him experiencing a lot of things. He does not hold back, which is enlightening. Yeah, he's also, you know what, I do have something nice to say. I always, he gives me a nice creative outlet. He does let me kind of do my own thing, which is nice. Sometimes I wish he'd, stay in one place so I could do that, but...
You can't answer my follow-up that easy, though. The follow-up would be, what's the most challenging thing about working with Darren?
You can't keep him in one spot. I don't know how we even figured out to get this many episodes of the podcast, to be honest. And
what episode is this?
This is 9.
Man, we're getting close to my over-under on the bet I have.
Yeah. Oh no. We started recording episodes in March, and I didn't start releasing them until May, because I could only get like one every 3 weeks, and I was like, Darren, we're gonna have to start really taking this serious. Like, we gotta get it done. And and then he's starting to get better. He's like, I'm aware. I'm like, okay, now I need to light the fire under your ass so you get it done. So we gotta get it done. I'm sure it annoys him, because I'm probably texting him once a week, and maybe even a day, where I'm like, hey, we need to do this. Hey, we need to do this. Hey, don't forget about me.
It's the same for me. Now, mine's different because I have to have guests. I have to schedule that. Like, I've been trying to schedule this one guest now for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's hard.
Either he forgets, or then we don't set a time. We just say we're going to do it the next day. Then we can't do it. And it's super challenging, but it's a guy that I really want to talk to. But I also have learned that I need to take a whole day.
Yeah.
And I block off that whole day, and I'll record at least 3 people during that day, maybe 4.
Yeah, that's good.
And batch them and do them all. Then I send them to my guy. I'm lucky to have an Emma who does this. And he does all the production work and posts it. But his schedule's also crazy. He's like the top rock DJ in Portland, Maine. So it's really hard to get out on a consistent basis. But part of that is also, number one, being prepared and having content in the can ready to go. Number 2 is not adhering to a strict schedule. Like, if you force yourself to put this out every Tuesday at 7 p.m., that's never going to fucking work. It's just not. And you just have to be, it has to be fluid, and it has to be, I think about, what's the name of that movie? You're going to be impressed too, because this is within your lifetime. Oh gosh, I can't remember it. It's Nora's Infinite Playlist. Something in Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Oh yeah, that TV show.
No, it was a movie first.
Oh,
I'm Googling it real quick.
Okay.
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. It came out in 2008. So, how old were you in 2008? This might be irrelevant.
I would have been 10.
10.
Yeah,
okay.
That's an easy number. I was born in 98. I should know that.
Not seen this.
No, I haven't. I haven't even heard of it.
So there are these 2 kids, and they live in New York City, and they're both out looking for this band called, I can't remember anyway. But the band never says where they're going to be or what time they're playing, and then they leave these clues all over New York City, and these people all search around to find it. And not that the podcast is like that, but it's just a surprise when it comes out. Yeah. And I mean, I try and stay within the same few days, but the worst is when I miss a week, and then I get like 5 texts like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It does help that I was able to work this in. Like, this is because I only work for Darren, it was a lot easier for us to, because I have the time.
Sure.
To just, but yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
It's him.
He's a nightmare to get a hold of sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just a nightmare in general sometimes. It's fine.
I don't think that. Darren, if you actually listen to this episode, I don't agree with that. He's not going to listen. He says he's going to listen. No.
I think this will be the one that he does listen to.
He's going to listen. He's going to listen for the first 15 minutes because that's how long he wanted our podcast to be originally. And then he's going to bail. Okay.
But he is going to be driving back from Canada. That's a long drive. Oh, that's
true. He's going to make everybody listen to it.
Yeah, lucky
guys.
Yeah, lucky guys. Gavin. Whoever else is up there fishing with him. So it'll be interesting. The one person who won't listen to this is Jeff from Shiggin. So but he will probably listen once Darren tells him that I told that story on him before.
I hope he does. I hope he does. So what how did you come up? Okay, actually, you know what? This is my next question. How did you come up with your theme song?
Funny story. We actually have two. And
yes,
the reason was because Kim and I love to dance at barbecue contests, and we generally put them up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And it's just us cutting loose whenever we have a few minutes. We always dance in the trailer anyway, so we thought it was fun, and somebody taped it once. And it became something we were kind of known for. But Facebook started taking them down for copyright infringement.
Right,
because we were using other people's music. So
sensitive.
Right. So I used to play guitar and used to be in a band and used to play in the band in high school. And there's a guy that I've known for a lot of my life. His name is Davin Seaman, which is an unfortunate last name, especially since he's also an albino. So it's very strange. Anyway, he's a musical genius and has a recording studio in his house. And I called him one day and I'm like, listen, man, I need a song. We need a song to dance to that's ours that Facebook won't take down. So he created that first riff, which is based loosely off of some Bruno Mars stuff. It's his wife and daughter singing in the background. And then the second song we came out with, I was like, we need to do a rap song, dude. And he's like, so he was working on getting this guy that was in the London production of Hamilton to like do the rapping. And so bizarre. Anyway, and couldn't get that guy. And then he's like, are you going to be in West Virginia anytime soon? I'm like, actually next weekend. He's like, why don't you just come and do it? And I've recorded with him before when I was playing guitar, and I'm really horrible and gun shy singing on a microphone. Went to his house. He played the track for me. I laid down the raps in 2 takes. And he was like, dude, that's perfect. And so now it's become kind of a thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
My mom's admiration for you makes sense now. I mean, it made sense before, but now, yeah, you guys are very similar people. I get it.
Similar?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm more of a jackass. Your mom is very taskmaster-ish, very detail-oriented.
Yeah.
That's but she's
true.
also funny, and she has a quick wit, and she makes me laugh.
Yeah, she's a funny gal.
And we both love the beach. I always send her beach pictures when I'm at the beach.
Okay, so that was one of the questions she had for you. She's like, will you ask him if he's a beach guy or a mountain guy? Because he only sends me pictures of the beach, but I don't know if it's because I'm a beach person.
Oh, no, I'm 100% a beach person.
All right. Mom, there's your answer.
Mountains. I'm not in...
Hey.
I love the mountains, don't get me wrong.
I'm a mountain person.
But, like, I'm not going camping. I'm not... Camping for me is a Holiday Inn. I'm not doing that.
Never been camping a day in my life, but I have a mountain tattoo. I like the mountains. I think they're pretty.
There you go. How do you have a tattoo?
I have
18, 19? You have a lot of tattoos?
24.
You have 24 tattoos?
No, I am 24. I have 10 tattoos.
Okay. 10 tattoos?
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Okay. I have 0. I keep telling myself that every 20 pounds that I lose, I'm going to get a tattoo as a reward to myself.
Okay.
I still have 0 tattoos. Just to let you know how that's going.
I love that.
I'm actually negative tattoos at this point. Does your mom have any tattoos? I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she has, I think, 6.
Huh.
Yeah, she has one really big one on her back and then a couple of little ones.
See, but I am 100% beach person. Love going to the beach. I'm actually supposed to be at the beach right now. Oh. But I had a couple of catering jobs this week, so I had to stay here and work those. So.
Are you just a catering business?
Catering and food truck.
Food truck.
Yes.
Do you think you'll ever open up a restaurant?
God, no.
Okay.
No. Just in the times when Darren calls me and 45 minutes later he's done complaining about owning a restaurant. And he's told me many times, if you ever open a restaurant, I will kill you. Because it's just...
Checks out.
It's just headache. And and plus where I live, like getting a space to do that, the real estate is ridiculous.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky, I think, with the restaurant.
Well, and plus he does an amazing job. And he's taught me so much about efficiencies and having the right people in the right places and doing those things. And it's really... helped me, and he's been there since the beginning, since I started the company. Started the company, this best time ever to start a catering and food truck business was January of 2020. Perfect timing.
I did hear that tidbit in one of your episodes, I think.
Yeah, lost $70,000 of catering in about a week, right when COVID hit. Yeah, it sucked. But we had to pivot. Right. You know, we turned, we pivoted.
Started a podcast.
Well, that. And the podcast is something that I do it for the experience. I've learned so much from it and made so many friends through it of people that I wouldn't necessarily know. But it's also, it helps people just like the classes help people. So
that's why I wanted to start the podcast, the experience and all that stuff. Darren, I think, was just on board because he likes to talk. So I just hit record. So that made it easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of Darren, what is your favorite Darren Worth story? This was a question that I've been waiting for.
Man.
And this is Darren Worth's podcast, so it can be whatever you want it to be. That's what he says.
Probably ought to keep this. I can't tell my favorite one because it's not PG.
Fair enough.
It's not even, I don't think, R. It's a good one, though. I guess it's more of all right, it's kind of an opus of a story, but I'm going to tell it. When we first became friends and started hanging out and everything, and I wanted to get into cooking on a Jambo. And I wanted to learn from him. Yeah. And so we went to a contest. This is when the barbecue league had just started, and we were doing all those things and taping and stuff. And so we went up to Wisconsin. And it was the first time I was cooking in a contest with a Jambo. And we were parked right next to him. He said, I want you to do exactly what I do in terms of the fire management, when to put logs on, how to run it, And I did it. And I still do it exactly that way to this day. And he told me after that cook, he goes, man, you ran a great fire. Like, people can't do that right out of the gate, to run such a clean fire. And we did okay. in the contest. And, you know, of course, it was a year learning curve, learning a new pit like that.
Right.
Fast forward to, oh God, was it the Royal 2 years ago? We're at the Royal 2 years ago, and I walk over, and he's getting ready to light his fire. And one of the things that he had taught me, I had the fire basket that you put inside the firebox to make your fire in. And he's like, you can use that today, but eventually you'll have to take the training wheels off. And was making fun of me for using it. So after that, I never used it again because I'm like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to put the fire in the corner just like I was taught. And I go over there and stand in his trailer, and he's got this pellet grill on there, and he's making his fire. And there's a fire basket in there, and there's these weird logs and stuff. I felt like I was watching the movie Tin Cup, where Kevin Costner's got all this goofy golf shit trying to fix his swing. And I looked at Darren, and I was like, is this like a midlife crisis? Or he just looked at me and went, fuck you, and walked away.
That sounds right.
And I was like, yeah, man, come on. Like, do it the way that you taught me. Like, that seemed to be working when you were winning world championship after world championship. He's going to get so mad I told that story. And he'll probably deny it. But that is all 100% true.
I can see it being the first thing he says in the next episode. But
my other favorite story, though, was we were in Jacksonville cooking this contest. It only happened one time. And we were staying in the same hotel, and we were hungry. So he and I went down and just found this Venezuelan food truck and ordered everything they had, and just, and that's kind of, you know, how we have fun together is we go and we eat in different places and try different things, and he's not afraid of anything. And there's very few people like that. They'll just go eat anything. And that's, we generally do that anywhere we go. We try and find something unique to that area. And that, I'll always remember that one because we went home. Then Justin McGlone Lucky was with us, and he recreated the recipe. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I love doing stuff like that. Yeah.
Darren will always come back talking about local places he found.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing that we like to talk about on this podcast is Darren likes to, again, tie in with the foodie in him. He likes to talk about what he's been cooking, or what I've been cooking, which I don't cook. I'm not cooking anything interesting. So, question for you is, you been cooking up anything good lately?
Well, you mentioned the YouTube videos, and yes. So we've been I mess around with traditional dishes, like coq au vin, French dish, chicken stewed with carrots and onions and red wine and stuff.
Yep.
But then I try and barbecue it up. So one of the videos that I have coming out is doing coq au vin on a Santa Maria grill, which is, it's on a lever, and you raise it up and down over top of an open fire. And it's a cool way of cooking. Yeah. A lot of it, I think, is really just kind of for looks. But it does give this different flavor aspect to the dish. And that'll be one of the videos that we have coming out. So it's taking stuff like that, or stuff from my childhood. Yeah. And one of the things I've been working on, though, is pepperoni rolls. Pepperoni rolls are a West Virginia delicacy, and they just don't exist anywhere else. And I try and I always give Darren pepperoni rolls whenever I see him.
Yeah, he said he'd made some. One of our episodes.
I'm sure
a couple episodes back. Yeah, I'm sure they're all right too.
Probably not the
just
same.
Yeah. Don't tell him that.
He's on the podcast. He's gonna hear it.
That's true. I know. He'll fight you back. All right. Well, that's really all I had. I really appreciate you helping us out. Yeah, we actually did pretty good on time.
45 minutes.
That's kind of our goal. But last couple episodes have been a little longer than that. But
it's funny you say that. My favorite podcast in the world is called The Tim Ferriss Show. He wrote The 4-Hour Body, The 4-Hour Work Week, The 4-Hour Chef. He's kind of into just like human experimentation on himself trying new products and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of efficiency stuff. And his podcasts sometimes will go 2.5 hours.
Yeah. New Heights does that with the Kelsey brothers.
Yeah.
And I was using them as like a reference when we were starting for Darren to kind of listen to and to get ideas. And I stopped there for a while because I was like, guys, these are a little too long.
I love them on road trips. I'll listen to 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah, on road trips, it's great. And
they're inspiring and just going deep like that. I've only have a couple, probably over an hour of my own podcast because I think 30 to 45 minutes, that's the right time.
That's kind of our goal.
Yeah, but I also have like set questions that I ask of each guest, and I'm trying to slide away from that and dig a little deeper. But I think that's also part of being a podcast host is you have to develop your game. You can't just get on there and be the same thing. You got to be more animated. It's great when guests talk, but sometimes they don't. And you got to pull shit out of them. I mean, that's I feel like you've had to do that today because I'm not a big talker.
No, I think you've been doing great. I was gonna say, I know. Oh, I know.
I'm humble.
No, yeah, just like Darren. No. We let Darren tangent. That's kind of a thing. That's our thing. Which
that's fine.
It's
you never
fine.
know what you're gonna get.
No, never.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, I've truly enjoyed being on here.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it. It's been great. Listeners, everybody go check out Luke's podcast. The
Pitmaster, the Old Virginia Smoke Podcast.
Yep, Pitmaster.
You can find it on anywhere you can find podcasts usually.
Yeah, and soon YouTube.
YouTube channel is youtube.com/Old Virginia Smoke. We're going to try and get stuff up every week. Hopefully
it's
a new website coming. There's lots of stuff coming, so yeah.
Yeah, exciting. I'm glad we could have you on before it all happened, so we were like ahead of the game.
I dropped some bombs on here.
Yeah, you did. I was not expecting that. I'm pumped.
Me neither.
I feel legit.
I was not expecting to do it either, but listen, listeners of this, go out there, cue the mic, find
we have the exact same. Yeah, exact same logo. Can't miss it.
It's the exact same logo. You can't miss it. And we'll do an episode of Pitmaster soon, and I'll have you and Darren on at the same time.
Oh, that would be unreal. Yeah, we'll have you back with Darren. I'm sure he'll want you back so he can defend himself or whatever. Yeah. Cool. All right. Episode 9 of Cue the Mic. That's a wrap. Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, follow, share, rate, do all of the things. That's what Darren would want me to tell you. I think you guys should just live your lives. We'll hope you're back, but we'll hope you will be back for episode 10 next week.
Yep.
See you guys later.